Now, let's talk about health, shall we? And there's a big question, which is, are your hormones in crisis? That's the question being asked in Hannah Alderson's new book, Everything I Know About Hormones. It's a guide to achieving sort of hormonal happiness, whatever our age. And Hannah's here now.
Yes.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, you in your sort of outside of writing a book,
Yes.
you spend your time with lots and lots of women talking about helping them understand their hormones.
Exactly.
As a sort of underlying issue behind so many of their symptoms,
Yes.
or whatever that might be, cystic ovaries and endometriosis, all these things that women come to you for. And over the years, you've just come to the conclusion, haven't you, which is what your book is based on, that our hormones are at breaking point, you say.
Yes, absolutely. I think as women, we have been conditioned to think of our hormones in such a negative light. And actually, hormones aren't the enemy. They are amazing, but they're really struggling to do their job optimally. Everything around us in the world has changed so dramatically. Our diet, we have ultra-processed food, our lifestyles, we're moving less, we're connecting less, social media, screen times, work-life balance with spinning plates, endocrine disrupting chemicals, pesticides, microplastics, you name it. It's a hard time for our hormones, let alone us, to be alive. So what we are seeing, as the research suggests, is that endocrine disorders are on the rise. Hormonal symptoms are on the rise. And we don't have enough research in women's health. And actually, when women do go to the doctor, in so many cases, they're brushed off, they're unheard, they're not listened to. I mean, myself, when I was diagnosed with PCOS, I was told... polycystic ovarian syndrome. Just lose weight, do a bit more and come back if you want to have children. And with my endometriosis, I was told it was trapped wind and it was stage 4 that needed surgery. And it's so common that women are just not listened to.
Yeah, and one of the things that you talk about in here is something that I know a lot of women, sort of friends of mine, have just gone, oh, God, you know, I can't shift this belly fat, and I'm doing everything. I'm doing more exercise. I'm using the stairs all the time. I'm trying to eat less. And it's so frustrating when you sort of hit over 40. And it's called cortisol belly, isn't it? Or you think it's called cortisol belly.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
what is that?
So it's that typical thing. You work out harder, faster, stronger. You're trying to restrict what you're eating, but you're not seeing results. And it's incredibly frustrating. But the human body isn't designed to lose weight. It's designed to survive. And it's not that interested in you getting in your slinky jeans for the summer. It's interested in your survival. And where we see elevations of cortisol, which is your stress hormone, it's an amazing hormone. It motivates you in the morning. It's a hormone you want around in a tricky situation. But the chronic levels of cortisol, what the research suggests is that it tells the body to accumulate more fat around the middle, so that visceral fat, and it will also really influence the foods you're craving, high fat, high sugar. So actually, it can prevent you letting go of fat. So you could be
interestingly, you say that doing more isn't the answer.
Absolutely.
Reducing cortisol, reducing the stress hormone is actually the key.
The key.
You think?
Because your body doesn't know the difference between a really stressful situation, being chased by a bear, or a toxic email, or a toxic relationship, or trying to juggle 1,000 things at once. And we all know what we're like as women. We tend to put ourselves at the bottom of the pile. And so chronic stress is a big thing, but it's very black and white to the body. Stress is stress, so it's about reducing.
So we've got one more thing I want to ask you about, but tips then, really, because I suppose all of this might be making you feel stressed listening to it.
And that's the last thing we want to do.
So a couple of things that you can do that you think are handy tips.
Yes.
If this sounds familiar to you, what can you do? Or don't do?
So typically you might think, right, I'm going to wake up in the morning, have a coffee to get me going, and then do a fasted, hard, full-on workout. But actually, that could be driving up your cortisol. So waking up in the morning and skipping out the coffee, having breakfast first, a lovely blood sugar balancing breakfast with protein, lots of fibre, and then move that coffee to after your breakfast, and then we exercise after we eat.
Interesting.
So we switch that order around. And then doing some really lovely things like boosting up your love and bonding hormone, oxytocin, which can actually be like kryptonite to cortisol. So oxytocin, it's when we have human touch, human connection, when we do lovely things for ourselves. So boosting up that hormone can bring down cortisol. It's about reminding your nervous system that you're safe.
Yeah, and of course you should see the doctor, shouldn't you? If you've got any real, you know, you've got to see a doctor at any point. We've got to say.
Stress,
but finally, we're just slightly running out of time. But I do want to just ask, because you talk about the fact that gut microbiome is everywhere. We talk about that. We all think we know about it. But vaginal microbiome is something women need to think about.
Absolutely.
Briefly.
And this is something that we cover amongst all these amazing things in the book also. The gut, we want to have a really lovely sort of diverse gut microbiome. But the vaginal microbiome, a really interesting topic of research, particularly for fertility. But it is very much influenced by your hormonal picture, what you're eating. But unlike the gut microbiome, we want to have a low diversity of bacteria, particularly the lactobacillus in the vaginal microbiome. And if there's an issue there, it can cause inflammation. And it's sort of a secular thing that can happen. The hormones can influence
There's a lot of science here, Hannah.
Sorry, a lot of science.
It's a good thing. But actually, it's all in the book, isn't it? Which is fabulous.
Yes.
So everything I know about hormones is out now.
It is out now to demystify hormones as the enemy and give you a really lovely 6-step guide to create a happier home for them to live in. Yes.
Thank you so much.
My
nice
pleasure.
To see you. Oh, hi there. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel where we upload new videos every single day. Click here if you're interested in this video or head to the homepage for more amazing content.